What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Fringe. I don't know if you guys noticed. There's a bit of an event in Alberta yesterday. If you weren't around on the channel, if you haven't been around for a bit, there was a rally in Alberta. In fact, I have to say that it was very comical that Mrs. Fringe and myself, as well as our compatriots, all ordered I Am Alberta shirts from this home. Of course, I got my Independence shirt here. They didn't show up in time. In fact, they were on my step as of 9 a.m. this morning. Isn't that the way it always works out, folks? Nonetheless, we can still celebrate what was happening in Alberta because the left are absolutely melting down, pulling Trump-style wedge issues. You're going to understand what I mean in a moment as we get into it. But I have to say, as somebody who stood on the steps of the legislature yesterday, to what is being estimated as a crowd of roughly 20,000 people, it was electric. Anybody who was at the event can say how it felt on the grounds, how it looked from live stream. I do have to apologize for the live stream. I don't do a lot of public broadcasts outside of the studio, and I was unaware that our phone did noise canceling. So the live stream, unfortunately, it sounded like there wasn't a lot of people there, or that people weren't reacting. But in fact, the grounds were absolutely electric, folks. The noise canceling, well, at least it works very well on my cell phone, but people just didn't get the full electricity from that show. I'm gonna show you what we're talking about here, especially with the left melting down, because it's hilarious, folks. We're gonna set the truth straight here. This is kind of the culmination of everything we've been talking about in regards to Alberta independence since it was first stated that Alberta was going to move forward after the last federal election. A lot of people have said, you're never going to have the numbers. It's not going to happen. You can't possibly vote your way out. I would beg to differ after yesterday. What we saw yesterday was truly remarkable. I want to thank Alberta Prosperity Project for having me on the steps to speak alongside Mitch Sylvester, Jeffrey Rath, Dr. Dennis Modry. John Bolton was there as an MC, and what a fantastic job. Huge shout out to John Bolton for the amazing job he did. Super lawyer Keith Wilson was there, a number of others, Chris Scott from the Whistle Stop. It was absolutely amazing. Alberta Prosperity Project reporting out, an Alberta Prosperity Project organizer asked the Alberta Sheriff that were on the grounds how many people they estimate to be present. Now, this is an estimate, folks. One of the reports was 20,000 people, plus another 50,000 or more in live stream viewers, with Unacceptable Fringe alone having 30,000 viewers. Hashtag I Am Alberta. Now, a lot of people said, hey, well, we were on the stream. There was only, 8,800. There was only so many watching at a certain time. This is the total viewers when the stream was done. It's now climbed over the 40,000 mark. So a lot of eyeballs on what was going on. Now, that's not to flex or to gloat. That's just to let you know how many people that weren't here were watching from abroad, watching from the United States, watching from all over the world, across Canada. What's funny is, this is how the left is melting down. They were taking photos, again, Trump style. They did this with Trump's rallies. They were taking photos before the event started. That's not 20K, that's 5 if you're lucky. And of course, they've got this aerial shot. This is long before the rally started. You can tell because this is the waiting fountain that they have out front of I always say Parliament, out front of the legislature. I was told Sheila Gunn Reid from Rebel News was right around here filming, but this was packed full. Absolutely packed full to the brim. And I'm going to show you the receipts for that as we go through. But this is typically the left's push. There's posts all over online. We're going to go through one of them, I think, where it says, here's the Alberta teachers strike. Now here's Alberta Prosperity. They don't have any numbers. They don't have anybody backing them up. This is where it gets real funny. Of course, I tweeted out, that was before the rally. Cry harder. It goes all the way to the back, and even on the bridge or the overpass up top if you actually look at the photo. Now, this was taken just before the rally started. you can see up to the back here, all the people lined up on this overpass. There were horses at the back here, people on horseback. That pool in the center is right here. This is where it starts, folks. And you can see it is full all the way to the back. People were all the way over into the trees. It was absolutely electric. Now here's a photo again with John Bolton. He says, "Hey, Danielle Smith, we dropped by your place today, but you weren't home. Sorry we missed you." Nice little call out to Danielle. We've got a video coming up tomorrow about Danielle. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, she officially has stated she backs Alberta Independence. And I'm going to have the receipts for that again tomorrow. You can see everybody on the steps here. And of course, you can see the crowd. This is again where that waiting pool starts, where that first photo was showing empty. Absolutely packed full. The sea of blue flags. Again, I know some people get tired of us talking about Alberta. Some people get tired of Alberta independence being discussed all the time. But folks, when you think about everyone saying, like, up until now, we didn't have physical show of just the high level of support. Now, keep in mind, not everybody who backs Alberta independence was at this rally. This is just a fraction. This is the tip of the iceberg for Alberta independence. And this is what we have to show for it. A crowd of an estimated 10 to 20,000 people. I'm going on the higher end. All standing in unison for Canada, or for Alberta. There was one Canadian flag there. I was going to say you can kind of see a maple leaf back here. That wasn't it. The Canadian flag was at this overpass. But of course, as we move forward, Mr. Nobody tweeting out, actually more like 20,000 plus people. Again, this is to the left's comments that said, or Marty's even comments. Marty estimated 5,000 people. No one was paid to be here. These are individual Albertans who are tired of being taken for granted by Ottawa. I actually ran into Marty on the grounds yesterday, but you can see, again, people just coming in. This is towards the back of the area. But it was taken, now, at the time of filming this video, which is 9 a.m. on Sunday morning, 17 hours ago. So it's 9 minus 5, shortly before 4 p.m. This is before the buses arrived. This is before the crowds who were all standing at the overpass came in. And this is at the very back, folks. You can see the patch of grass just underneath the overpass. You can see it in Marty's video. Right down where the counter says 7 seconds. You can see the patch of grass there. Now, Mr. Nobody says it was actually more like 20,000 plus people. Had my boots on the ground there. Way more than 5,000. About 20, if that. When it came to the counter protesters, you know, the Antifa and the Rainbow Mafia Alphabet Soup Group. Now, what's funny is Antifa was there. You can see them in this right photo. Mocha Bazurgan was there. You can see him tweeting out, Alberta Separatists staged their largest ever protest at the Alberta legislature today. Exclusive interviews to follow. Stay tuned. Now, he uses the word separatist. I say we're looking for independence. So we're there for independence. Whatever word you choose to use is up to you. But take a listen to the electricity going on here. And again, this Canadian flag, there was a Canadian flag in the crowd there. So I wasn't wrong. This is all where that fountain is again, right in the middle. So you can tell again, the photos that the left are putting out are completely prior to the rally. Let's take a look at Mocha. He does have the Antifa. Now, the Antifa were there with like 7 or 8 people. They had their Antifa flag. And what's funny is they literally got mocked and laughed at, and they packed up and left as the rally began. You love to hate to love to see it. Here we go, folks.
Freedom! Freedom! So, I'm going to ask you a question, and then you can tell me if you want to go or not. Is the federal government stealing from us? Are they sabotaging?
Now look at that picture right there, all the way to the back. Does that look to you like 5,000 people? That is way more than 5,000 people.
Our industry. Are they taking us down the path to communism? Are they censoring us? Are they stealing our guns from us? Come on, let's go. Thank you very much.
Today, going forward, should be known October 25th is Alberta Independence Day. The future is ours.
You've heard how wonderful and prosperous and beautiful this country of Alberta is. Yeah! Will be. Do you want that? Yeah! Sorry, did they answer? Did anybody hear anything? I didn't hear anything. Do you want that? Yeah! Are you going to do the work? Yeah!
The Conservatives have sold us out. They sold us all out. They sold me out. They sold you out. All of us have been sold out. You're right to be mad, but you're mad at the wrong people.
We don't need to indoctrinate over political bullshit at our kids. All that's got to go.
So I wanted to stop right on that clip because this guy says you don't need to indoctrinate all the political bullshit with our kids. I will tell you, my kids were there. It's really funny coming from the same group. Now, again, there was like 7 of them there. I love watching them crumble, and they pack up their gear and go home. I'm not sure if that's actually in the end of this clip. No, it doesn't show them packing up and going home, but they literally left minutes into the rally because they had no numbers. They had no support. Everybody told them to kick rocks. But when they talk about the indoctrination of kids, we're literally in the middle of a teacher strike where kids are being used as weapons by the NDP and the unions to try and negotiate a larger than 17% raise that was offered to the teachers and turned down. I find it so comical that this is the ever-tolerant left, ladies and gentlemen. They stand here and they say, oh, you can't use kids, but we can. You can't ask for independence, but we can ask for Canada to remain part of Alberta. It's rules for thee, not for me. That's the way the left operates. It's absolutely hilarious. Now, if you missed it, again, Fringe was on the legislature steps. Here's a good friend of the channel, Eva Chipiak, tweeting out, the question was, who is ready for Alberta independence? Take a look here.
You can do better than that. Who's ready for independence? That's better.
Now, this crowd, ladies and gentlemen, was absolutely electrifying. I can't express, again, you see these clips, you see everything that's around on social media right now. It was a completely different view from the steps of the legislature. The electricity that came from the crowd. I want to thank each and every individual who came out yesterday. Again, Alberta Prosperity Project for having me out. John Bolton for doing an amazing job emceeing the event. Here's where the left starts to melt down even further. Here's the October 25th Alberta Separation protest. Now here's that waiting pool again that's out front of the legislature. Completely empty. So this is way before the protest started. Way before. You can see here the sides are empty. The tree lines are empty. And again, we've shown numerous clips. They did this to Donald Trump. You guys remember this when they were arguing against Joe Biden, trying to support poor old Sleepy Joe and Kamala? Poor Kamala. And they'd always show Trump rallies like just as people were coming in to be like, oh, look, Trump can't even get like 1,000 people. Down below, here's the teacher strike. Again, we can't have children around. We can't use this BS to indoctrinate kids. Well, here's the teacher strike, everybody. Get behind your teachers. Give me a break. Even Jeff Rath tweeting out, breaking over 10,000 Albertans showed up at the legislature to support Alberta independence. Now, this was before Alberta Prosperity claimed 20,000 by the sheriffs. So I would gander a guess between 10 to 20,000. It says none of them had to be denied the ability to work or threatened by union bosses with a loss of strike pay if they didn't show up. And that's what's telling about this event here, folks. These were all people that asked for one thing and one thing only: Alberta independence. I'm going to ask you to put down a thumbs up or a comment down below on what you thought of the rally, what you think of the left, what you think of them melting down. However, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't. I will leave you because, again, our stream didn't do it justice. Thankfully, others were live streaming there. I do have the Fringe's complete speech with the crowd. I will leave that at the end here. For those who wanted to know just what the grounds were like yesterday, take a look here. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoy this video. I hope you have a great rest of the day. I'll catch you on the next one.
Okay. Up next, you know this guy. You probably watch him on YouTube all the time. Him and Mrs. Fringe during their live streaming. I was watching them last night. Derek Smith, Unacceptable Fringe. Hey, Alberta! Who's ready for independence? You can do better than that. Who's ready for independence? That's better. Folks, if you don't know me, you should. My name's Derek Smith. I'm the host of Unacceptable Fringe on YouTube. You should join us if you haven't. Sometimes I talk about Mark Carney. Sometimes we talk about Captain Blackface. We talk about the Liberals. But today we're here to talk about something far more important, and I can tell you right now, Ottawa better start taking notes and shaking in their boots, because this doesn't look like a small fringe minority to me. I moved to this province as a teen. I grew up in Winnipeg, Manitoba, and my father put me and my family in a moving van. And when I asked him why we were moving out to Alberta, he said this is a province of opportunity. A place where if you're willing to get your hands dirty and work, you can work your way up a ladder and you can be successful. That promise has diminished, especially in the last 10 years, under the countless scandals, the theft, the lies, the stealing, the tyranny of Justin Trudeau and his puppet master, Mark Carney. There's a silver lining, folks. Dr. Modry, Jeff Rath, Mitch Sylvester have tirelessly toured this province to ensure that Albertans are educated, that they're ready to fight, that they're ready to vote their way to a prosperous Alberta. Our youth can't afford homes. They can't find jobs. The middle class can't afford groceries. They have to decide whether they're going to turn on their lights or put food in the fridge for their families. Our seniors are living in tents. Our veterans are being ignored. That is not the Alberta I moved to. I'm told constantly on my channel, Fringe, there is no way you can vote your way out of this mess. I beg to differ. Alberta, you've been handed a golden ticket. You've been given a golden opportunity. You've said for years your vote has no weight in the federal elections. Our Senate is unrepresented. Our votes just put bums in chairs while Toronto, Southern Ontario, and Montreal decide who runs our country. But this vote, ladies and gentlemen, this vote gives you more weight and more power than you've ever had in your life. If you are a true Albertan, you owe it to your children, your grandchildren, your future great-grandchildren to vote for prosperity, to ensure that there is a land left here for them, that they can afford homes, they can have families, they can build memories, and they can be prosperous and free. message was sent in the 1980s by the federal government. I'm sending one back today, and we'll retool what they said in the 1980s. Screw the rest. Let's take back the West. We have the numbers, we have the ability, folks, to ensure our sovereignty. We have the ability to get away from taxation, from scandals. We have the ability to get away from provinces that say our oil and gas is filthy and unacceptable. We have the ability to open up partnerships with the rest of the world while our government ignores us and says that they don't need to do work with Alberta and they don't need to bring investment in. And I don't know about you folks, but I am sick and tired of giving 50% of what I earn to a bunch of crooks in Ottawa to jet set around the world and to tell me that what I do for a living is dirty and unacceptable. As I look at this sea of flags and this sea of blue and all of these Alberta patriots standing before me today, I can tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen. We are Alberta. We will be free. We will be prosperous. We will not go quietly into the night, ladies and gentlemen. Today is the start of us getting our independence.